It's Carl here, and I am in a different mood today. So I'm always trying to get this audio to work. Alright, so you should be able to hear me pretty good. Make sure I'm all set up. So, I wanted to talk today about, I'm on my lunch break. And I wanted to talk about how you look at yourself. Got to thinking today, I see a lot of people around me, and it's kind of sad, and I feel it too. I get sad, but there are certain things that we notice about each other and how each other are feeling. And I wanted to address something that came to mind when I looked at a particular coworker. I thought about it, and what got me thinking was, we all have the things that we're not proud of about ourselves. We all have our own situations that we just all have different situations. And one of the premises I want to address in this episode is, you look at yourself, and that's what sort of determines your reality. You absolutely have control over the way that you feel about yourself. So I use a lot of affirmations, and I do it like this. I go, I am a high achiever. I am surrounded by successful people. I am surrounded by winners. And it's not just those three examples. There's a lot of different sayings I do. I just use the I am before it. So I've realized a lot lately. I've grown a lot myself, and it's good and bad at the same time, but I don't feel guilty. But the thing is, when you start learning and growing yourself, you're going to notice other people that aren't where you're at in life. For me, it was hard at first because I realized how fast I was growing, and some of the things that I've learned over the years from different books and people is how to grow in general, how to discipline yourself. And discipline is really important in terms of getting to where you need to go. And all discipline really means, as a practical example, is conditioning yourself, going to the gym or eating the right food. Some of the basic things, whatever comes to mind that you think is good for you, probably is. And so from my point of view, I've seen people that let themselves go. Either they're overweight, and it breaks my heart. It does break my heart, and because it leads to a lot of problems. And when you're physically fit, you don't have to be a bodybuilder or anything like that. You have to be in shape, and you have to eat right. And it's just some of the things that I've learned have really taken me so far. But when I look around, I do see other people that are not as healthy as they could be, right? And who am I to judge? And so and I don't want people to think that I'm, hating on them or anything like that, because I'm not. I honestly, I just do me, and I focus. But what I want to do is help others, and I usually don't say things to people's faces, because I know we all don't like that. And when we're ready to learn, that's when the information will arrive. And that's kind of, I never am assertive like that. I let people come to me if they have a question. Lately, they don't really come to me, but, I'm here in this podcast to help you if you are one of those people. For example, if you're overweight, or you have dietary things, like you like eating out a lot, or you're sexually frustrated or something. It could be anything, really. And I want to be as real with you as possible. I always keep things professional, but I guess one of the things that I want to stress in this is, look at yourself the best way you can, right? You definitely want to have the best possible mindset that you possibly can. You don't want to be rude to yourself. Don't be mean to yourself. Think about someone you love. Think about someone that you would do anything for, and do that for yourself as well, right? We all want to be in love, but we don't always love ourselves. We don't treat ourselves really well. We smoke, we drink, we treat our bodies like crap. We don't we don't do really good things for ourselves, and that's what I'm trying to say is it's all about how you look at yourself. And that's why affirmations have always done me really well, because I constantly reinforce my mind. I constantly tell myself, Carl, you're on the right track. No, you're doing good. Because it's really easy to tell yourself that you're not. And when I look around at people, I can sense really quickly if they like themselves or not, because they get along with themselves really well if they do. And I don't know, I always say this, but I don't know where you're at in life. You could honestly be anywhere in life. I have a feeling that the people that I mostly talk to, I don't know, they probably, if I don't know, I actually don't know who you are. I do network with a lot of successful people, I guess, but I also don't have them around me all the time. You know, I do deal with a lot of people who are they're very mean, you know, they don't get it. They don't get certain things, right? I need to be more specific. They don't get how to act in front of others, how to command respect, to love themselves. And what I've noticed is that the more that I love myself, the more that people respect me, because I won't tolerate certain things. You know, I love who I am, and I don't care what if you're doing something, if it's morally wrong, I'm not going to do it, right? Or ethical or whatever. We all have our own boundaries and rules. So and that's what I think at a point in time at some point you get to a point where you don't let others steer you the wrong way, you know, and they can respect that. If you don't stand for anything, you really stand for nothing, because you're always following others. It doesn't mean that, like, you have to pick a side, I don't think. You just have to pick your own side, I guess, if that makes sense. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is the next time that you're out and about, or just how about tomorrow morning, or even today, try to walk around with your head held high. Know that everything is going to work out, that you have all the faith, you know, and see how that works for you. There is no cookie cutter method, you know, in life. You just have to, what I'm trying to do is point you in the right direction. I'm never going to tell you one thing is going to change your life per se, right? There's always more to learn, and I'm not done. I just noticed that my quality of life over the years has changed a lot. Like, you could take everything from me, and when I say everything, I guess what little money I do have, and then whatever, you know, assets I have, like my car or whatever, I don't know, my house. You could take it all away, but and the point I'm trying to make is that at a certain level, you understand, and no one can take that away from you. You're so prosperous in your own way that you have such a healthy mindset that you'll never go back to smoking, or you'll never go back to drinking. It's those types of things, and so that's kind of what I wanted to leave you with. I honestly want the best for you. I think a lot of people fear telling others about their secrets or something like that. Like, I'm not afraid to tell you, for example, who my supplier is. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's so funny because there's all this, oh, you gotta compete with, you know, in order to stay competitive, you need to compete, or I don't know. There's just so much BS out there that you're not gonna get the life that you want by following other people. Like, you get it by living your best life and focusing on you and learning to love yourself. It's all inward. It's never external, you know. So I guess I challenge you the next time to look at yourself and truly enjoy your company, you know. That's all you got. You know, you can love other people, you can be selfless, but I think it's important to love yourself. And to, practically speaking, I believe that how you talk to yourself is everything. So how you talk to yourself is everything. You don't want to be mean to yourself. You don't want to say, you know, I'm not going to make it. I'm never good at this. You got to catch yourself when you feel like you're slipping, because it's really important. I'll say it again, right? I'll emphasize it again. It's really important to say good things about yourself. Never talk bad about yourself. And you're going to slip up. There's going to be different things that happen where you're like, oh, I totally forgot about that. And then, you know, I totally forgot about that principle or that habit. and you go back to it, and then you try it again. You keep doing it until it becomes a habit. Sometimes you go through different cycles until you finally get a habit. You fail 3, 4, 5, 300 times if you're anything like me. And then finally you get it, and you're like, I get it. Life is short. I need to make sure I get my habits down, or whatever. So I think if you can understand people like you and that are doing really well in life, just hang out with them. You don't know what you don't know. So you gotta hang out with people and figure out who's got the best quality of life and go for that. And then just kind of sort of do what they're doing, So I'm going to end this podcast episode. You guys know I love you. I just want to say this because I think it's funny. Smash that subscribe button. That's funny. No, but if you like what you're hearing, throw that thumbs up. I don't know what you do on podcasts. But make sure you keep listening because I love helping you. All right, take care. Bye.